Stay connected. Stay informed. News Radio 600. Kogo.
Now downtown, it is 66 degrees and cloudy. Kogo News Time, 6:11.
There is a new study out. It's probably raising some eyebrows that says fasting can actually be beneficial in some ways.
Because, we always sort of dissect these eating fads. And is this one? Joining us on the Kogo News Live Line, oncologist and medical expert, author of Sugar Rehab, Dr. Gerald Edelman. And what does this study actually say about fasting?
Well, so it's been known for a while that starvation in animals makes them live longer. So it has some sort of anti-aging effect. This particular study did not make people absolutely fast. They just decreased caloric intake by about 50% twice a month for a 4-day period of time. So it wasn't as extreme as some of the other fasts we've heard of. And what it did was they measured parameters that are involved in inflammation and disease, and they were improved in the fasting group. And to make it simple, I think, and tie it in with, my book and what I've been talking about for a long time, I think it has a lot to do with decreasing the harmful effects of insulin. It turns out that the experimental arm that did the fasting, they had lower levels of insulin markers. And you all know diabetics are unhealthy. And the higher the insulin, the more diabetic you are. So a lot of this has to do, it's rooted a lot in insulin levels.
But if you're just real quick, if you're fasting, isn't your blood sugar really going to drop?
Yeah, well, your blood sugar will drop. It'll be lower than normal. The body has, an equilibrium mechanisms that make it not, get hypoglycemic in most people. But the more important thing is the insulin levels stay low, if you will. So one of the ways I look at this, I think your listeners will be interested, right? So there's so much hidden sugar in food right now, like low-fat yogurts, protein shakes, all the healthy-looking stuff, cereal, everything we think is good, like granola, is increasing our blood sugar levels. And I think most Americans are really being converted kind of like into diabetic physiology because their blood sugars are spiking and their insulin levels spiking all day. This fasting program seems to have been one solution to kind of decrease that effect. The problem is, have you all fasted before?
I accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah, just, where I didn't eat one day and I'm like, wow, I'm really hungry and a little shaky. What happened there?
Yeah, it's not really cool. I mean, it's hard and it takes discipline. One of the things that, I'm a doctor, and trying to get people to be disciplined about what they eat and exercise is really tough to do. So, I mean, this is kind of an extreme form of discipline, to be honest with you. And I'd rather see people limit their sugar intake, like I wrote in my book, Sugar Rehab, on a regular basis. I think it takes less discipline in the long run than this diet.
Well, either way, lowering that caloric level, but probably doing it in a healthy way, especially by lowering the sugars, the fats, the simple carbohydrates, is probably doing kind of the same thing as that fast, right? As far as your body mimicking the effects?
I agree. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening with that fast. And, again, it's important for your listeners. So if you lower your sugar, in other words, don't allow sugar spikes during the day. That's the bottom line. And therefore your insulin levels are lower. I think it's a healthier balance for you. And I think this fasting diet we're talking about is kind of interesting. A lot of times I'm like, wow, that sounds so stupid, not valid. I do think this is valid, this particular type of diet. I wouldn't advocate it just because I don't think it's sustainable. I'm a big believer in do something that's going to be sustainable for the rest of your life. Because I don't like calling things a diet. Like what I talk about in my book, Sugar Rehab, I don't consider it a diet. I consider it more of a lifestyle.
All right, oncologist, medical expert, author of Sugar Rehab, Dr. Gerald Edelman. Kogo News Time 6:17.